The 7th regular meeting in the Medford City Council will now come to order.
In my hometown of Medford, Mass., we have a lot of meetings.
Clerk Urtubise, please call the roll.
The City Council is on TV once a week, public access, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. If you're free and at least kind of interested in the weekly goings-on in the city you call home, just head to City Hall, head up the stairs, and take a right. If that sounds like a lot for you, in recent years, the city has done a fine job of making these recordings publicly accessible. The new mayor, Brianna Longo Cohen, elected in November of 2019, campaigned on a platform of increased transparency for the city of Medford, which was beginning to develop a reputation for crooked cops, corruption, and general weird things.
No, not even a cop. I'm a fucking Medford detective. And you went through that fucking rotary.
I didn't see a sign. I didn't see a sign.
Don't worry, there'll be a cruiser here in 2 seconds.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that sign. This is my first time.
Asshole. Never mind, you're lucky I'm a cop, because I'll be beating the fucking piss out of you right now.
Jeez.
Give me your license.
I just want to let you know.
Give me your license.
I also want to let you know.
Give me your license.
Okay, I just want to let you know I also have a dash camera.
In 2020, you can watch everything live on Channel 22 if you have Comcast, 43 on Verizon, and as of fairly recently, you can watch streams of any city meeting or event at medford.vod.castus.tv/VOD/?live=CH3. People talk at city council meetings, but 9 out of 10 times it'll be homeowners talking with their neighbors. The number one topic of discussion at these meetings? Zoning.
I've permanently lost sunlight on the side of my yard, and I've lost the privacy in my yard, and there was no site plan review for that. Where you'd have a $900,000 house next to a house that was only worth $400,000. This building is nearly as tall as the apartment buildings being built on Salem Street in a residential neighborhood next to my small single-family home, and there was absolutely nothing I could do to stop it.
Generally, those who speak at the city council meetings speak in their own self-interest rather than for that of the community as a whole. School committee turnout is even worse. Watch.
Community participation. Is there anyone wishing to speak before this body? Not a formal agenda item. Communication from the public? Hearing, seeing none, we'll continue on to report of the superintendent.
It seems like Medford's more focused on publicity than actual grassroots-style government participation. Medford's classic Greater Boston cultural rift between property-owning, lifelong residents and an increasingly diverse, educated class of young professionals in the more urban southern half of the city demonstrates this.
This map reveals those homeowner-dominated areas in deep red with those areas most dominated by renters in a light orange color.
This map shows those communities with the highest voter turnout, again in red, the lowest in blue. It's clear that the city council's makeup is disproportionately influenced by the city's wider, wealthier homeowners. So how do we engage the city's most diverse neighborhoods in local politics? It would do this sleepy city well to look at a few examples of successful strategies for community engagement. First, drawing some inspiration from the success story of Port Elizabeth in the Caribbean island of Bakia, whose strengths in the end came from non-governmental, apolitical organizations in the community that were already there. The r/UDOT report specifically describes the help the visiting planners received from houses of worship, along with their coinciding religious-based support structures, the local business community, the Island Tourism Association, and research institutions such as the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center or the University of the West Indies, all of which were able to play important roles in mobilizing and engaging their subcommunities in this greater cause. Medford has all of these things. Coalitions from educational institutions, including Medford High and Tufts University, as well as something like 27 Christian churches, a mosque, a Buddhist temple, and Temple Shalom. Leaders from each of these institutions could facilitate conversations within their community, encouraging members of these subdivisions to attend city council meetings in greater numbers. Every community organization would then have an unofficial representative in the city council chamber, speaking for their needs and wants. A much more interesting solution, though, would be something that looks much more like the direct democracy of the ancients. The Medford Farmers Market, a new and beloved tradition featuring fresh fruits and vegetables, stands from local businesses, and often live music, all gathered by the Condon Shell by the Mystic River, would make the perfect venue for community political engagement. Like the almond tree in Port Elizabeth, described by residents as our local parliament, and the front yard for everyone, this space could hold something like a season-long congress for members of the Medford community. The farmers market would become a semi-permanent, mostly seasonal outdoor bazaar where local officials would have to hold downtown office hours amid the general hubbub of the market. Newport, Vermont, a town of just 5,000 people, did something similar to this and was able to engage over 10% of their population in the process of thinking critically about their invested interest in their hometown, all throughout the process of a citywide festival. A piazza for public life, the Medford Farmers Market is the perfect potential venue for political discussion and neighborly discourse. Now we just have to wait for the warm weather.